Okay, so let's just imagine for a second you're about to walk into this big meeting and everyone's talking about renewable energy in India, and you want to sound like you really know your stuff,
Yeah.
but you don't exactly have time to read through a ton of dry reports.
Yeah, it can feel overwhelming, for sure.
Right, so that's where this deep dive comes in.
Right.
We're going to focus on Himachal Pradesh.
Okay.
It's this region in North India that's basically a gold mine when it comes to hydropower.
Wow.
And we're pulling all of our insights today from this document called Pasted Text.
Okay.
Really interesting stuff. And so yeah, consider this like your crash course to becoming the most knowledgeable person in that meeting.
I like it.
So to kick things off, maybe you can help us understand, why is Himachal Pradesh such a good fit for hydropower in the first place?
Well, it really comes down to the geography.
Okay.
We're talking about mountains and steep slopes, the kind of terrain that is just perfect for hydropower plants.
Oh, so it's like nature designed it with hydropower in mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then you have the rivers.
Right.
Himachal Pradesh has all of these amazing rivers that flow constantly. The Sutlej Bees, Ravi Chenab, they all originate in the Himalayas.
Wow.
And that steady water flow that's crucial for consistent energy production.
So it's almost like this built-in, constantly recharging energy source.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what makes these rivers in this region so different from other rivers in India?
Well, the Himalayan snowmelt, that plays a huge role.
Okay.
Especially in the summertime, it just keeps the rivers flowing strong.
Yeah.
You know, providing this natural water source that fuels the whole hydropower system.
Okay.
Other regions, they might have rivers, but they don't have that constant supply from the melting glaciers.
That's fascinating. So, okay, we've got the perfect natural setup, it sounds like.
We do.
But how much power are we actually talking about here?
Right.
Does Himachal Pradesh actually make a noticeable difference in India's energy needs?
Oh, it makes a huge difference.
Really?
It generates about 25% of India's total hydroelectric power.
Oh, wow.
That's a quarter of the country's hydroelectricity.
That's a lot. That's mind-blowing. So where does all that power go?
It feeds into what's called the Northern Grid, which is this massive network that distributes electricity across northern India.
So it's like a power grid just for the north?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we're talking about powering states like Punjab, Haryana, and even the capital, New Delhi. Millions and millions of people rely on this energy.
It's really powering everything.
Yeah, it's keeping the lights on,
It's amazing.
powering homes, businesses, everything.
Wow. And so beyond just meeting those everyday needs, it's a huge step towards a more sustainable future for India, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Relying more on hydropower means relying less on things like coal and oil, which is huge for the environment.
It's a big win.
So it's like hitting two birds with one stone: clean energy, energy independence.
Yeah.
I'm starting to understand why they call this region a powerhouse.
Yeah.
A thought just popped into my head. Could this hydropower even be exported to neighboring countries?
Oh, that's a great question, and the answer is yes. There's definitely potential for that.
Wow.
Himachal Pradesh already exports some of its excess power to nearby states.
Okay.
So scaling that up to reach even further is a very, interesting idea.
Yeah, it's a big idea, especially with more and more countries looking for these clean energy solutions.
Exactly.
So we've talked about the big picture impact on India as a whole, but now I kind of want to zoom in a bit and talk about the actual dams and power plants themselves.
Sure.
Because I read somewhere that some of them are major tourist attractions.
Yeah.
Is that for real?
It is.
Wow.
Absolutely. Some of these projects are incredible feats of engineering.
Wow.
Take the Bakranangal Dam, for instance.
Okay.
It's one of the oldest and largest multi-purpose projects in India.
So it's not just for generating power.
Right. It's not just about generating power. It also helps with irrigation and flood control.
Multi-purpose. That's interesting. That probably means it's pretty massive, though.
It is. It has a generating capacity of over 1,325 megawatts.
Wow. And how many homes could that power?
Enough to power over 1 million homes.
Wow. That puts it into perspective.
Yeah.
What about some of the newer projects? Are those attracting attention as well?
For sure. The Koldam project on the Sutlej River is a good example.
Okay.
It's much more modern, known for its advanced technology.
Okay.
And then you have the Camera plant on the Ravi River, another big player that's helping to keep the lights on across northern India.
Wow. It's really incredible when you think about these giant structures just harnessing the power of nature like that.
Yeah.
You know what's really fascinating to me is the Canon hydroelectric power station on the Bees River. It's been operating since 1935.
Wow.
That's almost a century of clean energy generation.
Yeah, that's remarkable how long some of these plants have been in operation. A testament to their robust design and the consistent power of those Himalayan rivers.
It's amazing. Okay, so it all sounds pretty amazing so far.
Yeah.
But I have to ask, are there any downsides to all of this?
Right.
Like, building these huge dams can't be without its challenges, right?
You're right. There are definitely downsides to any large-scale development, and hydropower is no exception. One of the biggest concerns is the impact on ecosystems.
Right.
Dams change the natural flow of rivers, and that can have unintended consequences for the plants and animals that depend on them.
I mean, yeah, it makes sense. We're kind of tinkering with nature's plumbing system.
Exactly.
And that can definitely have unforeseen impacts.
Yeah. And another concern is the displacement of communities.
Right.
Building these projects can sometimes mean relocating people who live in the affected area, and that can be very disruptive to their lives and their livelihoods.
It's tough
Yeah.
because, I mean, clean energy is crucial. We all know that.
Right.
But so is protecting people's homes and their way of life. So it seems like finding that balance, but minimizing the impact, that's the real challenge.
It is. It's about finding that sweet spot, maximizing the benefits of hydropower while minimizing the negative impacts.
Okay.
And that's where innovation and careful planning become really important.
So it's not just about building dams, it's about building them responsibly with a long-term vision for sustainability.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, I've also heard about something called micro-hydropower. What exactly is that?
So micro-hydropower is a much smaller scale approach. It's perfect for remote communities that aren't connected to that main power grid we talked about earlier.
Oh, so like the northern grid.
Right.
Okay.
These microplants have a much smaller environmental footprint as well.
So it's almost like having a mini power station tailored to that specific community's needs.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool, but like, do those smaller systems really make a difference?
Oh, they make a big difference, especially for those remote communities.
Okay.
They provide a really reliable source of energy, they create jobs, and they keep those economic benefits within the community.
Okay.
It's a very empowering model.
So it's not just about mega dams and these huge projects. There's a whole other side to hydropower that's focused on like local communities and smaller footprint.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from the giant Bakranangal Dam to these small community-focused microplants.
Yeah.
It's clear that hydropower is a huge part of Himachal Pradesh's identity and its future. But what about the even bigger picture? Like, what does the future hold for hydro in this region? I'm dying to know what's on the horizon.
Yeah, well, the future of hydropower is full of possibilities. There are a lot of innovative ideas and technologies on the horizon that could completely change the way we think about hydropower.
Okay, I'm ready. Spill the tea. What can we look forward to?
Well, one of the most promising developments is something called pumped storage hydropower.
Okay.
And it's essentially a way to store excess energy and release it when needed, almost like a giant battery for the power grid.
Oh, wow.
Imagine being able to capture energy when demand is low
Yeah.
and then release it during peak hours.
Yeah, that's smart.
That's a game changer for grid stability.
It's like having an energy savings account for an entire region. What else is in the works?
Then there are smart grids.
Okay.
These use advanced technology to monitor and manage the flow of electricity, making the whole system more efficient.
So it's like giving the energy network a major intelligence upgrade.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm seeing a theme here. It's all about efficiency and smart management. But what about collaborations with other countries?
Yeah.
Could there be global partnerships in this field?
Absolutely. Himachal Pradesh can learn a lot from other countries that have already mastered sustainable hydropower. Places like Norway or Canada.
Yeah.
Sharing knowledge and resources could help accelerate progress and make hydropower even more effective worldwide.
It's like a global brainstorming session for clean energy.
Yeah.
So much potential. Okay, I think we've covered a ton of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
Yeah, we have.
What do you think we should pick up with in part 2?
I think we should delve deeper into the human element of hydropower, specifically the social and economic impacts of these projects on the local communities in Himachal Pradesh.
Sounds like a plan. We'll be right back in part 2 to continue our exploration of hydropower in Himachal Pradesh. Don't go anywhere. And we're back for part 2 of our deep dive into Himachal Pradesh's hydropower scene.
It's been a fascinating journey so far.
Right? Like exploring the just incredible potential of hydropower in this mountainous region.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see why this one region is like so crucial for India's, shift towards a greener future.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a remarkable story, honestly. And, as we talk about the future of hydropower, I think it's important to remember that it's not just about technology and innovation. We touched on this earlier, right?
Yeah.
With like displacement of communities and stuff. Like it's got to be about finding that balance between progress in people's lives, right?
Exactly.
How do we do that?
Well, I think it really comes down to responsible development.
Okay.
Making sure that hydropower projects are planned and implemented
Yeah.
in a way that respects the needs of those local communities and the environment.
So it's about really listening
Yes.
to the people who are most affected by these projects and finding ways to minimize, any negative consequences.
Absolutely. And that involves things like providing fair compensation for those who are displaced, creating new job opportunities,
Okay.
and implementing strong environmental protection measures.
So it sounds like we need like a multifaceted approach here, one that takes into account all the perspectives of everyone involved.
Yeah, transparency and collaboration are key.
Okay.
The more we can involve communities in the decision-making process, the better the outcome will be for everyone.
So it's about solutions that work for people and the planet.
Exactly, not just one or the other.
Yeah, and I think what's so cool about Himachal Pradesh's story is that they're not just focused on generating electricity.
Right.
They're really thinking about that long-term sustainability
They are.
of these hydropower projects.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about big dams, micro hydropower plants, the human side of things.
Yeah.
But what about the economics?
Okay.
Like, how does hydropower impact Himachal Pradesh's economy?
Well, hydropower is actually a major economic engine for the state.
Really?
These projects, they create jobs both during the construction phase
Yeah.
and, for the long term as the plants operate. And of course, they generate revenue through the sale of electricity.
So it's like a ripple effect,
Taking
with those positive impacts just spreading throughout the economy.
And it's not just about, those direct economic benefits either.
Okay.
Hydropower attracts tourism, as we mentioned earlier.
Right.
People are fascinated by these engineering marvels
Yeah.
and the beautiful natural landscapes that surround them.
So it's a win-win for the economy and the environment.
Yeah.
Sustainable energy that brings in tourism dollars. That's amazing.
Right. And let's not forget about the role that hydropower plays in attracting investment.
Oh, yeah.
As India transitions to a greener economy,
Yeah.
investors are eager to put their money into renewable energy projects.
Yeah.
And Himachal Pradesh, with its abundant hydropower resources, is becoming a prime destination for that investment.
It's almost like a green gold rush.
It is.
And I imagine those investments will further stimulate the economy,
Exactly.
create even more opportunities, right?
It's a positive feedback loop.
Yeah.
And it's not just private investors that are recognizing this potential.
Okay.
The government is also making significant investments in hydropower infrastructure
Wow.
because they recognize its crucial role in shaping India's energy future.
It's really incredible when you think about it. Hydropower is so much more than just a source of electricity.
Right.
It's this catalyst for like economic growth, environmental protection,
Yeah.
community development, all in one.
It's truly a testament to the power of human ingenuity,
Yeah.
working in harmony with nature to create a more sustainable future.
I'm so impressed by everything we've learned about Himachal Pradesh's hydropower journey so far.
Me too. It's definitely an inspiring story,
Yeah.
showing how we can harness the power of nature in a way that benefits both people and the planet.
Yeah, speaking of inspiring stories,
Yeah.
I feel like we need an anecdote.
Oh, I have one.
Okay, perfect. Let's hear it.
So I was reading about the construction of the Canon Dam,
Okay.
and I came across this story about a local village that was initially hesitant about the project.
Makes sense.
They were concerned about the potential impact on their land and their way of life.
Yeah, big changes like that can be unsettling for sure.
Yeah, but the developers of the project, they really made an effort to engage with the community,
Okay.
to listen to their concerns and address them.
So they didn't just come in and say, like, we're building a dam deal with it.
Not at all. They held town hall meetings.
Okay.
They explained the benefits of the project, and they worked with the villagers to develop a plan
Okay.
that would minimize the negative impacts.
That's
And in the end, the community actually embraced the project.
Wow.
They saw the potential for economic benefits.
Yeah.
And they felt like their voices had been heard.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's such a great example of how, like, collaboration and open communication can really make a huge difference.
Yeah, I agree. It shows that even with like these large-scale projects,
Yeah.
it's possible to find solutions that work for everyone if you're willing to listen and work together.
It's a good reminder that progress doesn't have to be at the expense of people or the environment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about finding that sweet spot
Yeah.
where economic growth, social well-being, and environmental protection all intersect.
I love that. This has been such a great conversation. I'm so glad we did this deep dive into Himachal Pradesh's hydropower journey.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's a story full of hope and inspiration.
Yeah.
You know, showing what's possible when we prioritize sustainability
Yeah.
and work together to create a better future.
Yeah. I think this is a good place to pause for now.
Okay.
I'm ready to wrap up this deep dive in part 3 with some key takeaways and final thoughts.
What do you think?
I'm looking forward to synthesizing everything we've learned
Yeah.
and leaving our listener with some food for thought.
Perfect. We'll be right back in part 3 to tie it all together. Stay with us. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into hydropower in Himachal Pradesh.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. We've explored everything from massive dams to these tiny microplants and just learned so much about the impact of hydropower on this region.
Yeah, it's amazing how much is happening there.
And as we've discovered, it's not just about Himachal Pradesh itself, right?
Right, it's bigger than that.
This region is really vital for India's overall energy landscape and their, transition to a greener future.
Yeah, absolutely.
So as we kind of wrap up our deep dive here,
Okay.
what are some of the key takeaways you think our listeners should remember?
I think the biggest one is that hydropower has the potential to be a really powerful force for positive change.
Like a superhero of the energy world.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You like it?
It's clean, it's reliable, and it's a sustainable energy source that can really help us, move away from those polluting fossil fuels and combat climate change.
Harnessing the power of nature to create a better future.
Exactly.
Love it.
Yeah.
But it's not a one-size-fits-all solution, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
There are many different approaches,
Yeah.
from those massive dams we talked about
Yeah.
to this smaller scale microplants. And each one comes with, its own set of benefits and challenges.
It's all about choosing the right solution for the specific context and really thinking through those environmental and social impacts.
Yeah, absolutely. And that brings us to our third key takeaway.
Okay.
Responsible development.
We've talked about this quite a bit.
It's crucial.
Yeah, it is.
It's about making sure that these hydropower projects are planned and implemented in a way that minimizes any negative consequences.
Maximizes the benefits for everyone.
Yeah.
It's about, finding that sweet spot where clean energy goes hand in hand with protecting the environment and promoting the well-being of those local communities.
I think Himachal Pradesh is showing us that this balance is achievable. They're really leading the way when it comes to sustainable hydropower development. And I think the world is starting to take notice.
It's inspiring to see how they're, embracing innovation, collaborating with communities, and setting an example for other regions to follow.
It really does give me hope for the future of clean energy.
Me too. As we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with something to think about.
Okay, I love a good thought-provoking question.
All right, so here it is. How can we take the lessons we've learned from Himachal Pradesh's hydropower journey and apply them to other regions and countries facing similar energy challenges?
That's a fantastic question, and it's one that we should all be pondering. What works in Himachal Pradesh might not work everywhere else.
Yeah.
But those core principles, sustainable development, community engagement,
Yeah.
innovative solutions, those can be applied globally.
It's about, sharing knowledge,
Yeah.
working together across borders to find ways to harness the power of nature in a way that benefits everyone and everything.
It's a challenge for sure, but it's one that we have to embrace if we want to create a cleaner, more sustainable world
Yeah.
for ourselves and for future generations.
Well said. And with that, we've come to the end of our deep dive into hydropower in Himachal Pradesh. I don't know about you, but I've learned so much.
Me too. It's been an enlightening journey.
To our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you've enjoyed it. Keep exploring the world of renewable energy and all the amazing things that are happening in this field. There's so much to discover.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and keep diving deep.